Hello and welcome to our special coverage, the big reboot for the mutual fund industry. In what could be called as a path-breaking move by the regulator has changed the definition of how mutual funds or how multi-cap mutual funds will be now changing their asset allocation. The regulator now has come out with guidelines in which multi-cap funds will have to maintain a balance of large caps, mid caps and small caps. The exact numbers will just come up on your screen. Now what this will do is, well, you could say for an individual stock cap picker, it's almost like a early Diwali when all of us are struggling for good news in this COVID period. Why do I say that? Because a gush and rush of money will now automatically migrate from large cap funds, from large cap stocks to mid and small cap stocks. So the market mood now, or the market texture now, could take a 180-degree turn. Small and mid cap stocks have been in a bear market from 2018. That's about 3 years. And now we could be staring at a completely rebirth of a new bull market in mid and small cap stocks, largely because of the allocation which will change. How important is this move? How should one decode this move? Are we looking at a new rebirth, or that is just my assessment? Now, to understand that, it gives me great pleasure to bring on board someone who needs no introduction whatsoever, someone who in a sense has epitomized and championed the whole idea of buying small and mid cap stocks, someone who believes that if you do treasure hunt in a country like India, you can identify multi-baggers provided you have the skill, temperament and attitude. Madhu Kela joins us now. Mr. Kela, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Am I right in saying that this in a sense is a early Diwali at a time like this when we all are struggling for good news for a mid-cap stock picker like you?
I think, Nikunj, first of all, thank you for having me. I don't think this is only limited to next 2 months. See, this is more of a structural move, wherein the first time when the regulation got defined that what is a large cap, what is a mid cap, and what is a small cap, the rules were very, very clear, but for the large cap companies and for the small cap companies. But companies which were like multi-cap companies, it was not clear. So I think it is very timely defined that multi-cap funds must truly reflect the characteristic of a multi-cap fund, right? So if I just saw after this news came, I saw that a lot of the multi-cap funds have invested maybe up to 90-95% into large cap companies, right? Which is defined by the regulator. So I think it's a fantastic move. Would not have come, as you rightly said, would not have come at a more proper time when the world, when India in general is struggling. And this will, if it is implemented properly, and if the category of multi-cap remains where it is, this will move to significant re-rating of small and mid-sized companies, for sure.
Okay, Mr. Kela, let's understand that what will happen is that allocation will move away from funds which currently, multi-cap funds which currently have a dominant share of large cap to mid and small cap. So some would argue that, look, this is only liquidity move and this is like a short-term booster shot. Ultimately, small and mid-cap companies, the stock prices may go higher, but what happens to business fundamentals? Why are you think that this is going to change fundamentals?
But this
in
is
other
my
aspects
precise
also?
point, Nikunj, because when we look at a large cap company, it's easy to invest money. There are so many gems which are hidden where there is a real compelling business fundamentals. But because the whole market got polarized, only buying the top 50 companies, those companies are not getting valuation. You know, who is there to say that there is no value or there are no gems in small and mid-sized companies? There are a lot of companies which have a tremendous amount of value. And as you rightly put, I've been investing money in mid-sized companies. So I can tell you with confidence that there is a lot of value in that space, and such a move will help recognize the value of these enterprises. And let's not forget, Nikunj, India is a very enterprising country. When entrepreneurs were running listed, unlisted companies, and when they realize that they can actually get true value for their asset in a listed format, a lot of beautiful companies will start to get listed because there will be valuation. See, what has happened in the last 2 years, the markets have got so polarized. These are only 25, 30, 40 companies wherein 90% or 80% of the mutual fund asset is being parked in. So, the point which I'm trying to make, my friend, is that this will help, unlock value in a lot of small and mid-sized companies. This will help broaden up the whole market. And this will help a lot of companies which are in the unlisted domain, a lot of new businesses which could not get listed because there will be valuation in the stock market. A lot of businesses will get listed.
Okay. Mr. Kela, we saw a very big bull market or mid-cap bull market between 2013 or 2014 to 2018 before they peaked out.
Sure.
If a bull market indeed has to start in small and mid-cap stocks, how will it be different from the last mid-cap bull market?
See, I think, because mutual funds are going to invest this money, and we always believe that all the mutual fund people who have experience, the money is going to be in their hand. So I don't think just because it is a small cap company or a mid-sized company, every company will qualify to be in the portfolio of a mutual fund scheme. So what will happen, Nikunj, even within the small cap space, in the mid cap space, the companies which have got very strong business model, the companies which have got very high standard of corporate governance, hopefully those are the companies which will qualify into by investment by the mutual fund industry. So to that extent, according to me, this will be different than what has happened in the past.
Do you think this also is going to fix a lot of underperformance challenge which mutual fund industry has been facing largely because of concentration in few mega stocks like Reliance or HDFC Bank? Now, stock picking का समय आ गया है, उसका भी दिन आ गया है.
मेरे को लगता है निकुंज वो पक्का होगा, एंड मुझे लगता है कि अब वो रियल डिफरेंशिएशन होगा within the portfolios and within the performance. The people who have skill to identify good companies in the mid and small size segment, and if they buy it, then there will be a differentiation. Because till now, if you bought a small cap company because or a mid cap company, because there are not much takers in the size of that small cap and mid cap basket. So let's say if the overall mutual fund industry is roughly 10 lakh crores, I'm just giving that number. Okay, so small cap basket was only 40,000 crores, and maybe mid-sized companies were another 40-50,000 crores. So 10% of the overall money was invested into a small and mid-sized fund. So there was not all the companies which are there in this sphere were not getting takers. So now, because multi-cap companies, so just strictly if I go by August number, so August, the size of the total multi-cap industry was roughly 150,000 crores. And I'm just giving you, approximate numbers. And approximately only 10% of this money is invested into small cap companies, which means effectively what we are saying, 25,000 crore rupees of additional buying will have to happen in small cap space. And let's again, we have to give credit to regulator that they have given roughly 6 months time. We are in September and they have given time till February to align the portfolio. So we have 4-5 months. So in that time frame, this 20 to 25,000 crore rupees of buying will have to happen to match with the regulation, which means effectively a lot of companies which have got hidden value will get truly recognized. One thing which I feel that people who want to invest only in large cap companies, let's say if I'm an investor and I want to invest only in large cap companies, so people may move some amount of allocation from multi-cap companies to large cap companies. And people who want to only be in a small cap, they can move some amount of allocation from multi-cap companies to small cap companies. But, even if that were to happen, I still believe this is a big event from a small and mid-sized companies perspective and from a re-rating perspective of these companies from a valuation standpoint of view.
What happens to large cap stocks now? Can they get into time wise and price wise correction? I mean, the easy trade was buy Reliance, buy Liver, buy HDFC Bank, buy TCS, and then, you're sorted.
Yeah, I think to some extent there will be correction because this is not a new money which is coming. So if there is a 25,000 crore rupees of buying which is to happen into small cap companies, there will be corresponding selling from the large cap, right? Because this is not a new money which is coming in the market. This is a money which is going to get circulated. Now it remains to be seen how much money actually will remain in multi-cap funds. But I am sure there will be selling in large cap names, and there will be buying to that extent into small and mid cap names.
What will change for a HNI investor like yours?
I would say to the extent of saying, Nikun, this is a brilliant move from the regulator to broad base a market like India, wherein there are 2,000 companies which are listed. We can't have a polarized market of only 10 or 15 or 20 stocks.
Can I also say, Mr. Kela, that this is the first time what we've also seen that number of demat accounts have opened, number of traders who are trading from home, they have also opened. So now the appetite for mid and small cap stocks is there, and it's not just mutual fund industry. I mean, if the mid and small cap space get re-rated, a lot of individual investors, they may start also walking on the path of small and mid cap stocks now.
Yeah, I think so. So I am saying this is not a 2-3 month move. I think this is a structural imbalance which is there in the marketplace, where a lot of the large cap companies are trading at a phenomenal valuation. And I am not saying that they're not doing good job or they're not good companies, but the difference between the valuation of small, mid-size and large-size companies has become very, very wide. And this kind of a move, to some extent, will help to bridge the gap. So what I'm saying, Nikun, let's understand this. Let's supposing you buy a small cement company which is trading at $40. Some mutual fund investor decides to buy that at $40 valuation, and that company goes from $40 to $80. It will still be cheaper than $200 which a large cap company is trading. But all the other companies which are trading at $30, $40 will get re-rated. Now, all of them will not get bought by the mutual fund schemes, but there will be not that kind of difference which will remain between one small cap and another small cap. To that extent, the overall market is what I am making will get re-rated in the small and mid-size segment.
Okay, one last question before we allow you to escape is, the good news is something what we've discussed. The bad news could be when the market corrects. Some of the companies we know right now are suffering because of the shape of economy suffering, market share losses are there, companies are not efficient, market share has been gained by large companies. So don't you think in a bad market or when the market correction kicks in, some of these stocks also can suffer equally?
They will suffer, and to that extent, investors will have a choice. So Nikunj, when the market corrects, even in 2008, even the largest and large companies corrected. We have seen that phase. When this corona issue came in March, it is not only small cap companies which corrected. To that extent, when the market will correct, everything will correct, and the impact on the small and mid-sized companies will be to that extent larger. But that is for the investors to decide whether they want to take that risk or not, whether they want to invest into multi-cap funds which have this risk. But conversely, if you see that if you were in 2018 kind of a situation where there is a bull run which was going on into a small and mid-sized company, and if you are in a multi-cap fund which had invested 95% of your money into large cap fund, then you have also missed the rally. So I am saying what the regulator has done with this move is told the mutual fund industry that you be true to your characteristic. If you are saying multi-cap, at least let it get reflected in multi-cap. Now it is upon the investor to choose whether he wants to take the risk of being invested into a small and mid-sized company. If he doesn't want to take the risk, then he can always move to large cap funds.